Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time there lived in a certain village a little country girl, the prettiest creature who was ever seen. Her mother was excessively fond of her, and her grandmother doted on her still more. This good woman had a little red riding hood made for her. It suited the girl so well that everybody called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day her mother, having made some cakes, said to her, "Go, my dear, and see how your grandmother is doing, for I hear she has been very ill. Take her a cake and this little pot of butter." Little Red Riding Hood set out immediately to go to her grandmother, who lived in another village. Little Red Riding Hood stood at the edge of the forest, clutching her basket tightly. The tall trees loomed before her, their branches weaving together, creating a thick canopy that swallowed the sunlight. She shivered with fear as she gazed into the shadows ahead. She took a deep breath, stepped onto the forest path, and tried to think of cheerful things. "It's not so frightening," she told herself, looking at the birds singing in the branches. Indeed, sparrows and finches flitted between the trees, their song filling the air with melody. As she walked deeper into the woods, she noticed wild apple trees, heavy with fruit, their branches bowing under the weight of red apples. Delicate woodland flowers dotted the forest floor like scattered jewels, bringing splashes of color to the otherwise foreboding dark forest. In the distance, she heard a rhythmic sound, thwack, 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 the steady chopping of an axe against wood. The familiar sound of honest work made her feel less alone in the vast forest. She continued through the wood. She encountered a woodcutter chopping timber by the path. Seeing the young girl alone, he paused his work and called out to her. "Child, where are you going all alone in these deep woods?" he asked with concern. "To my grandmother's house, good sir," she replied sweetly. The woodcutter's face grew grave. "Then listen well, little one. If you should meet a wolf upon your path, do not stop to speak with him. The wolf is cunning and dangerous, and his friendly words hide wicked intentions. Promise me you will run straight to your grandmother's door without delay." She promised and bid him farewell. As she continued, and after a time, she indeed met the wolf, who had a very great mind to eat her up, but he dared not, because of some woodcutters working nearby in the forest. He asked her where she was going. The poor child knew that it was dangerous to stay and talk to a wolf, but did not want to be rude. So she said to him, "I am going to see my grandmother and carry her a cake and a little pot of butter for my mother." "Does she live far off?" said the wolf. "Oh, I say," answered Little Red Riding Hood. "It is beyond that mill you see there at the first house in the village." "Well," said the wolf, "and I'll go and see her too. I'll go this way and go you that, and we shall see who will be there first." She had said too much. The wolf ran as fast as he could, taking the shortest path, and the little girl took a roundabout way. She soon forgot the encounter with the woodcutter and the wolf, entertaining herself by gathering nuts, running after butterflies, and gathering bouquets of little flowers. It was not long before the wolf arrived at the old woman's house. He knocked at the door. Tap, tap. "Who's there?" "Your grandchild, Little Red Riding Hood," replied the wolf, counterfeiting her voice, "who has brought you a cake and a little pot of butter sent you by mother." The good grandmother, who was in bed, because she was somewhat ill, cried out, "Pull the bobbin, and the latch will go up." The wolf pulled the bobbin, and the door opened, and then he immediately fell upon the good woman and ate her up in a moment, for it had been more than 3 days since he had eaten. He then shut the door and got into the grandmother's bed, expecting Little Red Riding Hood, who came some time afterwards and knocked at the door, tap, tap. "Who's there?" Little Red Riding Hood, hearing the big voice of the wolf, was at first afraid, but believing her grandmother had a cold and was hoarse, answered, "It is your grandchild, Little Red Riding Hood, who has brought you a cake and a little pot of butter mother sends you." The wolf cried out to her, softening his voice as much as he could, "Pull the bobbin, and the latch will go up." Little Red Riding Hood pulled the bobbin, and the door opened. The wolf, seeing her come in, said to her, hiding himself under the bedclothes, "Put the cake and the little pot of butter upon the stool, and come get into bed with me." Little Red Riding Hood did as the wolf said, then got into bed. She was greatly amazed to see how her grandmother looked in her night clothes, and said to her, "Grandmother, what big arms you have! All the better to hug you with, my dear. Grandmother, what big legs you have! All the better to run with, my child. Grandmother, what big ears you have! All the better to hear with, my child. Grandmother, what big eyes you have! All the better to see with, my child. Grandmother, what big teeth you have got! All the better to eat you up with." And saying these words, this wicked wolf fell upon Little Red Riding Hood and ate her all up. Moral: children should never talk to strangers, for if they should do so, they may well provide dinner for a wolf. I say wolf, but there are various kinds of wolves. There are also those who are charming, quiet, polite, unassuming, complacent, and sweet, who pursue young children at home and in the streets. And unfortunately, it is these gentle strangers and sometimes friends who are the most dangerous ones of all. The end.